Unique stories that define our state's character. Here's Kevin Mackey with this week's Montana Moment, brought to you by Montana Chevy Dealers.
About 72 million years ago, molten granite formed the Pioneer Mountain Range in southwest Montana. And as the granite cooled, water carried quartz and other minerals through the rocks and deposited them in veins. With time, the minerals were exposed to air and groundwater, leaving a repository of gems. And few places in the country showcase that more than Crystal Park. Kevin Mackey has our Montana Moment.
Travel the Pioneer Mountain Scenic Byway. You will find a Montana so stunning it takes your breath away. Deep in summer, you pass farms, ranches, forests, a ski area, and an old ghost town. To the east, the Pioneer Mountains climb as high as 10,000 feet. To the west of the byway, along paths that wind through cool shade, you'll find a site that looks quite different.
Okay, here we are. Quite the contrast.
This is Crystal Park. At 7,800 feet, it's 40-some acres of decomposed granite. Gail Plavanik and Mike Ryan are with the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest.
Crystal Park is one of only a handful of opportunities in the nation that the public has to come out and explore for gemstones like crystals.
Clear quartz crystals, you can find amethyst, you can find smoky quartz, and a variation of sizes.
The Forest Service maintains the day-use site.
The lack of cultural or historic sites at this location allow for the public to dig without adversely affecting our history.
The park attracts crystal diggers from all over the world.
Folks drive the scenic byway and arrive and pay $5 per person for a day's worth of wonderful entertainment and finding crystals. Some folks turn them into jewelry, and some folks set them on their desks. Some folks believe they have healing powers.
I'm from Belfield, North Dakota, and I'm a rock hound.
Carla Schaff has been to Crystal Park 4 times. On this trip, she brought her daughter and grandkids with her to dig for the crystals she's grown to treasure.
My daughter does make some jewelry, but mostly we just enjoy having them. We share them.
Carla thinks crystals do have a certain healing power.
It's God's creation. I mean, it's just amazing that these crystals are underground, and I guess I'm very grounded and have a very close relationship with the earth.
It just sometimes can get a little boring, but it is fun.
Boring became fun for Carla's granddaughter Delilah when she found this smoky amethyst.
That's a pretty scepter.
See, I thought it was a scepter.
Oh my goodness.
When you dig, it's so satisfying.
When you have kids come and dig holes and they find their first crystal, you know, they might hang on to that for the rest of their lives.
Everett Hatfield came from Washington with his mom to visit his grandparents. He uses a sifter to find the best crystals.
Sifted out all the dirt, and then I just rummaged through the rocks and found this little guy.
It was a productive morning.
Like, this is the most I've ever seen.
Here's Everett's mom, deep in concentration, carefully searching to add even more crystals to the family's collection. But it isn't just crystals that pique your interest here. Everett's grandfather enjoyed the view with binoculars to watch a herd of elk in the Pioneers. For a lot of people, digging for crystals is addictive. You don't even have to work that hard. They're everywhere. We found these right on the surface.
After a rain, if you come to the park, you'll see them shining on the surface.
You're only allowed to dig inside the 40-acre perimeter. For safety and to control erosion, crews run bulldozers to smooth out digging holes again and again. Gail says it's not okay to dig under trees.
It creates instability, and the trees could tip over on top of you, but also it kills the trees.
You'd think with all these people digging, you'd eventually run out of crystals.
No, not in our lifetimes, we won't.
So abide by the rules. There's enough for everybody. Gail says replanting some vegetation helps with erosion.
If you rest an area and let a little bit of vegetation grow back, it'll create stability.
The Retired Smoke Jumpers Association and the Dillon Recreation Crew installed new signs and rebuilt benches. Gail has other improvement plans to partner with the University of Montana Western's Geology Department.
An interpretive site is what I would like to see. You know, the push-button video explaining how the crystals are formed and the exact geology behind it. This is truly a gem, you know, and it's the crown jewel of the Beaverhead Deer Lodge.
Call it a rockhound's paradise, just off the Pioneer Mountain Scenic Byway. Kevin Mackey, NBC, Montana. If you want to watch this story again, or if you missed one of my previous stories, you can watch every Montana Moment in a special segment on our website at nbcmontana.com.